Before I start this video, just wanted to show you guys these new images that released, which apparently show Spidey having a thing with MJ. So clearly in this film, there'll be some pretty good romance being established between Peter and MJ. We then have another image of what appears to be confirmation that Spidey will get his noir suit from S.H.I.E.L.D. So we can see Nick Fury and Agent Hill talking to Peter, which to me is a very exciting encounter that I really wanted to see in the MCU. So without further ado, enjoy the rest of the video. Welcome everyone to Marvel Hub. This is DK Dynamite, and today we're going to be going over a pretty reliable leak over on the Marvel Studios Spoilers Reddit in regards to Spider-Man Far From Home. So shout out to DXA Snipey, who posted what he believes is a believable 4chan plot leak for Far From Home. So I'll put a link down below in the description if you're interested in reading this a little bit more. But as he does say, I'm not going to say how I know the plot leak, but here's the main standout important details. First, the obvious stuff. Does take place after Endgame, like a day after. Mysterio does betray. Mysterio was a villain that created the Elementals, not for fame, but for money. Peter gets suspicious and tells Fury about Mysterio acting strange. Fury finds out Peter was right after doubting him and thinking he was being paranoid. Mysterio is fired and wants revenge on Peter. He tries to get Vulture out of jail, but says he's done with the criminal life and doesn't want more jail time. Scorpion is seen overhearing that and tells Mysterio he wants in. Mysterio and Scorpio attack Peter while he's on a date with MJ at a carnival. Not much in the fight scene, was just a filler. Apparently, can't say for sure because I haven't seen the film, but was told by a reliable source. Peter tells Fury about the attack, and Fury tells him that he'll handle it and not to do anything else, like Stark tells him in Homecoming about Vulture. Peter spends more time with MJ and doesn't worry about it and kind of pushes off on being Spider-Man. Once again, Peter is attacked and he suits up to fight Mysterio and Scorpio. MJ stays at the fight looking for Peter while Peter is fighting with Scorpio. While Mysterio is fighting with Peter, Scorpion tries to take MJ hostage and MJ fights back. Plot twist here, she's able to back him off, and after she gets away, she uses a S.H.I.E.L.D. watch and calls Fury dad and tells him to get down here. Yes, MJ is Fury's daughter. Makes sense after rewatching Homecoming because she did kind of stalk Peter and knows everything about him. Peter stops Scorpion. Mysterio has them webbed up. As they are being handcuffed by S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, Scorpio tells them that they'll be back, and he just made a lot more enemies that Peter doesn't even know about yet. The Avengers building doesn't reveal or even hint to who it was bought by, so we haven't got there just yet. I'm assuming they'll reveal this later in Phase 4, maybe Phase 5, and talk about maybe the Baxter building for Fantastic Four, maybe something else. We have no idea just yet, but they'll probably reveal that, later down the line. But in terms of what I think of this leak, in terms of what I think of it, it really does seem like it's mimicking Homecoming as much as possible. We have the same kind of situation where when Stark didn't trust Peter at first, now we have Fury not trusting Peter at first, and then, later towards the end, they realize he was right the whole time about whatever he was doubtful about, apparently. We then have the same twist with somebody having a crazy dad reveal. It wasn't a mom reveal, it's not an aunt reveal, not a relative reveal, a brother or sister, but another dad reveal. So we saw it in Homecoming. It was pretty damn crazy. It was a great twist, but in terms of doing that now and again, I definitely believe it because of how MJ was acting in Homecoming. So maybe she did know this entire time that Peter was Spider-Man and she's just kind of been fucking with him. But in terms of what that means, I don't know. I don't know about that one again. I don't know if they could pull it off and it's believable, then I guess it'll work. I guess it's fine. But to pull it off again, I guess if there wasn't a dad twist in Homecoming, this one would be a little bit more believable. But because this is so surprising and because it's so different, I guess that's why it's believable right now, according to some people over on Reddit who've replied to this leak. I guess that's why it's not too questionable, because I guess it makes sense based on MJ's actions in Homecoming, based on her actions in Far From Home. Her parents haven't been revealed. Nothing's really being retconned all that much. So I guess that's why it makes sense. But as many people have also stated, the reason some leaks do seem believable to most people is because of how surprising, shocking, and different they sometimes are. And that's always meant to bait people into believing it. So maybe this isn't really true, but it's definitely something that makes us think about, hey, how did MJ really act in Homecoming? How does that add up with Fury being her father in this movie. Does that really make sense? And I guess it does make sense to a certain extent. So let me know what you think of this down below in the comment section. The only other problem I see with this leak is that everything is pretty damn predictable. Most of us had assumed that if Mysterio is fighting on our side against the Elementals, maybe he did set them up, maybe he is going to betray us throughout the film, maybe Peter does notice it, and Fury doesn't believe it at first until later on when he sees the evidence for himself. That's exactly what happened with Tony not taking the Vulture seriously within Spider-Man Homecoming until later on in the film. So I guess they're kind of pulling off another Homecoming, which to me is fine if they give it a really solid narrative with some really good groundwork and to where it pays off to audiences. Doesn't just feel like another cop-out or a cheap version of Homecoming. If that's fine, then I see where this is going, because as I've said many times before, and as I'll mention before I end the video, I do think Spider-Man Homecoming is a good film in the sense that it really pushes the narrative for the ending of Phase 3, really implements Spider-Man in a meaningful way so that his appearance in Infinity War feels justified, not just forced. I definitely feel that, and I think it's a really great film for that purpose, but as a Spider-Man movie on its own 2 feet, I don't think it's the strongest film out there, and I hope that Far From Home drastically builds upon that and becomes a strong film, not just for the purpose of pushing the narrative forward in Phase 4 of the MCU, but also just to be a good film on its own, to be a really memorable Spider-Man movie overall. So let me know what you think of this down below in the comment section. This has been DK Dynamite. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn notifications on to stay updated with the latest and greatest Marvel news and information. And peace out, everyone.